Have you ever woken up in the morning, looked at your garden or your favorite walking path, and felt a quiet ache in your heart because your body simply wouldn't follow your lead? Have you started to fear that your best years of strength and independence are behind you, replaced by the heavy fatigue of stiff joints and weakening muscles? You are not alone in this feeling, but I want to tell you something important. Your body still has a remarkable capacity to heal and grow strong, no matter if you are 70, 80, or beyond. In the sun-drenched islands of Okinawa, Japan, there are grandmothers and grandfathers who move with the grace of the wind, building lean muscle and keeping their bones strong well into their hundreds, all thanks to a gentle plant-based secret. Today, we are going to explore how you can reclaim your vitality and defy age just like they do. Before we begin, I'd love to know, where are you watching this from and what time is it for you right now? Please let me know in the comments below. I truly look forward to reading them. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss what's coming next. As we cross the threshold of 70, a silent thief often enters our lives, one that doctors call sarcopenia. It is not a disease in the traditional sense, but rather a natural thinning of the muscle fibers that once kept us upright and energetic. For many of us in America, we notice it when the grocery bags feel heavier than they used to, or when standing up from a low chair requires a bit more effort and a deep breath. We often think that eating more steak or heavy proteins is the only answer, but for a body that is aging, these can sometimes be difficult to digest and hard on our kidneys. This is where the wisdom of the Japanese lifestyle offers us a gentler path. Instead of forcing the body to process heavy acidic proteins, the elders in Okinawa focus on high-quality plant proteins that the body can easily recognize and use to repair muscle tissue. They understand that muscle is like a garden. It doesn't need harsh chemicals to grow just the right kind of nourishment and consistent light care. Think of your muscle fibers as tiny threads of silk that hold your strength together. Over time, if we don't give them the right building blocks, those threads become sparse, leading to the cramps and joint fatigue that keep you awake at night. The beauty of the Okinawan approach is that it doesn't ask you to become a marathon runner. It simply asks you to change the quality of what you put on your plate. By shifting toward the plant-based proteins we are about to discuss, you aren't just feeding your muscles. You are giving your entire system a chance to breathe and rejuvenate. It is about moving away from the more is better mindset and embracing the better is more philosophy. This shift is the first step toward walking with confidence again and feeling the steady strength return to your legs. Before we dive into the specific foods that can rebuild your strength, we must first look at how we view our meals. In the West, we often count calories or focus on fueling up. But in Japan, there is a beautiful concept called Shokuiku, which translates to food education. It is the belief that what we eat is not just fuel, but the very foundation of our spirit and physical form. There is an ancient Japanese proverb, Ishoku Dogen, which tells us that medicine and food share the same root. This means that every bite you take is either building your muscle or allowing it to wither. For a 70-year-old living in Okinawa, a meal is a slow, intentional act of self-care. They don't rush through their lunch, they sit, breathe, and appreciate the colors on their plate. This mindful approach lowers stress hormones like cortisol, which are known to break down muscle tissue when they stay too long in our system. By adopting this Okinawan mindset, you aren't just eating protein. You are inviting your body to relax and absorb every nutrient it needs to stay strong. Imagine your kitchen not as a place of chores, but as a sanctuary where you craft your own vitality. In America, we are often told that aging means decline, but the Shokuiku philosophy suggests that as we age, our relationship with food should become more refined and elegant. Instead of large, heavy portions of processed meat that leave you feeling sluggish and bloated, we can look toward the light, nutrient-dense ingredients that the Okinawans have relied on for centuries. This shift in perspective is what allows a grandmother in a small Japanese village to stand up from the floor with ease while her peers across the ocean might struggle with a staircase. As we understand this connection between our mind and our plate, we begin to see that building muscle isn't a battle against time, but a gentle conversation with our own biology. And as we prepare our hearts for this change, we naturally find ourselves reaching for the most legendary source of strength in the Japanese diet, a humble food that has been called the meat of the field for generations. There is a small village in Okinawa called Ogimi, often referred to as the Village of Longevity. If you were to walk through its quiet streets, you might meet Mrs. Kame, a woman in her late 90s, who still spends her afternoons tending to her vegetable garden. When asked about her secret to keeping her legs so sturdy and her back so straight, she points to a simple block of white firm tofu on her table. In Japan, soy is often called the meat of the field because it provides all 9 essential amino acids that your body needs to build muscle, yet it does so without the saturated fats and cholesterol found in red meat. For those of us over 70, this is a miracle. Our kidneys and digestive systems often become more sensitive as we age, making it harder to process a heavy steak. Tofu, however, is soft, easy to chew, and even easier for your body to break down into the building blocks that repair those thinning muscle fibers we talked about earlier. Scientific studies have shown that the high-quality protein in soy can stimulate muscle protein synthesis just as effectively as animal protein in older adults, but with a much lower cost to the body's internal balance. When you enjoy a bowl of warm tofu soup, you are giving your muscles a steady stream of nitrogen, which is essential for growth. But the benefits don't stop at the muscles. For our listeners who worry about their bone density, soy contains isoflavones, which act like gentle messengers telling your bones to stay strong and retain calcium. This dual action building muscle while protecting bone is exactly what we need to prevent those painful falls and the loss of independence that keeps so many of us awake at night. It is not just about adding a food to your diet, it is about choosing a partner for your longevity. Incorporating tofu into an American kitchen doesn't have to be complicated or bland. You can think of it as a blank canvas that takes on the flavors of whatever you love most. Perhaps you might try lightly pan-searing it with a touch of ginger and a splash of soy sauce, or crumbling it into your morning eggs for an extra boost of strength. The key is consistency. Mrs. Kame doesn't eat a mountain of tofu once a week. She enjoys a small, mindful portion every single day. This steady rhythm of nourishment is what allows her muscles to stay resilient through the decades. It is a slow, quiet victory over aging one bite at a time. And as we learn to embrace the simplicity of tofu, we open the door to an even more powerful secret of the Japanese diet, one that lives deep within the tiny microscopic world of our gut. As we age, it's not just about what we eat, but what our bodies can actually absorb. You could eat the finest protein in the world, but if your digestive fire has dimmed, those nutrients may never reach your muscles. This is why the Japanese tradition of fermentation is so vital for anyone over 70. Consider miso, that rich, savory paste made from fermented soybeans. In the Japanese household, a morning often begins with the comforting aroma of miso soup. This isn't just a tradition, it's a scientific masterpiece. The fermentation process breaks down the proteins into their simplest forms, meaning your body doesn't have to work hard to use them. It's like having the food pre-digested for you, allowing those essential amino acids to slide straight into your bloodstream and head toward your tired muscles. For those who struggle with bloating or a heavy feeling after meals, miso is a gentle friend that soothes the stomach while rebuilding the body. Then we have natto, a food that many Americans find unusual because of its sticky texture and strong scent, but in Okinawa it is revered as a fountain of youth. Natto is packed with vitamin K2, a nutrient that acts like a traffic cop for your body. It tells the calcium to stay out of your arteries where it can cause stiffness and move into your bones where it is desperately needed to prevent fractures. Strong bones provide the scaffolding that your new muscles need to attach to. Without K2 building muscle is like trying to build a house on shifting sand. Even a small spoonful of natto or a daily bowl of miso soup can change the environment of your gut, filling it with beneficial bacteria that improve your mood and your energy levels. When your gut is healthy, your muscles have the fuel they need to keep you moving, walking, and enjoying your life with those you love. It is heartening to realize that the solutions to our most pressing health concerns can be found in such humble, ancient foods. You don't need a pharmacy. Sometimes you just need a fermented bean. This internal strength we are building through miso and natto creates a foundation of resilience that radiates outward. But protein and gut health are only two pieces of the puzzle. To truly complete this circle of vitality, we must also look at the smaller, crunchy jewels of the Japanese landscape, the beans and seeds that provide the finishing touches to our physical strength and help us say goodbye to those nighttime cramps forever. As we settle into the rhythm of a plant-powered life, we often find that the smallest additions to our plate make the biggest difference in how our bodies feel when we move. Think of the vibrant green edamame, those young soybeans served in their pods that you might have seen in a Japanese restaurant. In Okinawa, these aren't just an appetizer. They are tiny powerhouses of magnesium and potassium. For many of us in America, nighttime leg cramps can feel like a sudden, sharp betrayal by our own muscles. These cramps often happen because our mineral levels have dipped. By snacking on a small bowl of steamed edamame, you are giving your muscles the minerals they need to relax and recover. It is a gentle way to tell your body that it is safe to rest, turning a restless night into a period of deep healing sleep. Beyond the green pods, the Okinawan elders have a deep love for sesame seeds, what I like to call golden seeds. They sprinkle these generously over their rice and vegetables. While they may look small, sesame seeds are packed with calcium, which we know is vital for our bones. But here is the secret. When you combine these seeds with the plant proteins, we've discussed you create a complete protein profile that rivals any piece of meat. This synergy is what helps keep a 70-year-old's frame sturdy enough to withstand the daily tasks of living. It's like adding a fine layer of protection to your skeletal system, ensuring that your muscles have a rock-solid foundation to pull against. Adding these jewels to your life is a joyful process. You might find yourself enjoying a handful of walnuts or pumpkin seeds during an afternoon stroll, or mixing black sesame into your morning oatmeal. These small habits are the polishing of your health. They fill in the gaps that age tries to create, smoothing out the rough edges of joint fatigue and muscle weakness. As you begin to feel this new strength blooming in your limbs, you might notice that you're not just eating differently, you're beginning to feel a sense of control over your body again. And this feeling of control leads us to a very special Okinawan secret regarding not just what we eat, but how much we invite into our bodies. There is a phrase that Okinawans say before every meal, Hara Hachi Bu. It is a 2,500-year-old Confucian mantra that means eat until you are 8 parts full, or roughly 80%. In America, we are often raised to clean our plates, but the elders in Japan listen closely to their body's internal whispers. By leaving that bit of extra space in the stomach, they prevent the sluggishness that comes from overeating, which can make us want to sit on the couch for hours. For someone over 70, staying active is the only way to keep those new plant proteins working for you. When your body isn't burdened by a heavy meal, you feel lighter, more nimble, and more inclined to step outside for a short walk, or to spend a few minutes tending to your flowers. Movement in Okinawa isn't about lifting heavy weights or running miles. It is about functional strength. Many elders there still sit on the floor, a practice called seiza. The simple act of standing up from the floor multiple times a day keeps their legs and core incredibly strong. For us, this might mean choosing to take the stairs more often or practicing getting up from a chair without using our hands. This daily natural movement acts like a signal to your muscles telling them, "I still need you, stay with me." Combined with the wisdom of Hara Hachi, this light activity ensures that your metabolism stays steady and your energy remains high throughout the day. It's a beautiful cycle, eating just enough to feel vibrant and moving just enough to stay strong. But perhaps the most powerful part of this lifestyle isn't something you can see on a plate or measure in a walk. It is the invisible force that keeps the heart light and the muscles resilient even when life gets difficult. In Okinawa, no one ages alone. They have a tradition called Moai, which is a small group of friends who commit to supporting each other for life. They meet regularly to talk, share a meal of tofu and vegetables, and laugh together. You might wonder, what does friendship have to do with my muscles? Science tells us that loneliness and chronic stress produce high levels of cortisol, a hormone that literally eats away at your muscle tissue. By staying connected, the elders in Okinawa keep their stress levels low and their joy hormones high. This emotional health provides the perfect internal environment for their bodies to stay strong and for their bones to remain dense. Building your own moai can be as simple as a weekly phone call with a friend or a walk in the park with a neighbor. When you move together and eat together, you aren't just building muscle, you are building a life worth living. It is this sense of purpose, having a reason to get out of bed, and a group of people who are waiting for you that truly defies age. Your muscles aren't just for you. They are for the hugs you give your grandchildren and the walks you take with your friends. This connection is the final ingredient in the Okinawan recipe for a long, vibrant life. We have traveled a long way together today, from the sun-drenched, peaceful shores of Okinawa to the very cells of your own body here at home. I hope you now see that your age is not a cage or a final chapter of decline, but rather a season of refinement where you can choose to nourish yourself with newfound kindness and ancient wisdom. Building strength at 70, 80, or beyond isn't about competing with the person you were decades ago. It is about honoring the person you are today and the vibrant life you still deserve to lead. By choosing gentle plant proteins like tofu that respect your body's limits, listening to your internal rhythm through Hara Hachi, and staying connected to your own moai, you are taking back the keys to your independence. You are not just surviving another year, you are learning to bloom in your own beautiful, quiet time. Remember, every small bowl of miso, every mindful walk in the garden, and every shared laugh with a friend is a victory over the fatigue that once felt so heavy. You have the power to change the story of your aging, starting with your very next meal. I truly believe in the resilience of your spirit and the quiet strength that is still waiting to be awakened in your muscles. Your journey is unique, and it is a privilege to walk beside you as you rediscover what your body is truly capable of. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Before you go, please don't forget to let me know in the comments where you are watching from and which of these Okinawan habits you are excited to try first. I look forward to our next conversation, and until then, may you find strength in every breath and joy in every step.